I welcome you all on behalf of the IEEE India Council. We have with us today Mr. Chamika Sudusinghe, Secretary of IEEE Asia Pacific, Art and Region Student Activities Committee. I welcome you on behalf of the IEEE India Council.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, Chamika. Before you can start, I would like to introduce you to everybody. So,
Yeah, sure, definitely.
We have with us today Mr. Chamika Sudusinghe, who is an ambitious, focused, and committed undergrad from the University of Moratuwa, Sri Lanka, specializing in integrated computer engineering. Chamika is also the founder of Sitar Inc., Chief Technology Officer of Ishan Traders, Head of Marketing at Circuit Breakers Robotics, and Climate Reality Leader at the Climate Reality Project. He is an UPE scholar, IEEE REM scholar, and Stafford Larson Student Awardee. Chamika has a long and impressive history with IEEE since the last 3 years. To name a few, Secretary of IEEE Asia Pacific, Art and Region Student Activities Committee, Chair of Student Activities Committee at IEEE Sri Lanka Section, Assistant Treasurer at IEEE Computer Society, IEEE Sri Lanka Section. Talking about his research and projects, Chamika has done extensive work around machine learning, hardware, Navy chips, and robotics. He has several publications in IEEE, Springer, and ACM. In this session today, he'll be speaking about what is MGA vTools, who can edit in vTools, annual reporting of activities, officer reporting, and others. Chamika, we are delighted to have you with us today and are eagerly looking forward to your presentation. Over to you, Chamika. Chamika, we are not able to hear you. Chamika has a bit of problem with his audio, so he'll be fixing it right now. He'll be back in a minute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, Chamika.
Yeah, so sorry for the disturbance. Actually, I had to switch my connection, that's why. So I'll share my screen first.
Yes, sure. The stage is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you again for the lengthy introduction for me. And I'm pleased to have such a long introduction about myself. So, and again, I'm thankful for the opportunity to talk to you all at IEEE India Council. So today I'll be talking about IEEE volunteer tools. We call it by vTools, and I'll be going through some of the tools that are available to us via IEEE, which can be utilized for the benefit of the activities that we do at IEEE. So first of all, before going through the available set of tools at vTools, I'm going to ask you a question. So do you know about the latest tool available at IEEE vTools right now? So it was introduced like in this month. So I just wanted to know if anyone is familiar with the latest available tool. So if you know the answer, you can use the chat box to answer the question. I can see. Yeah, that's right. So the latest tool that's available at vTools is the local groups tool that was introduced in this month. So if you're not aware of it, you can know about it right now. So vTools local group is for uh, in terms of if you are interested in different technologies, and if, for example, if you're interested in blockchain or let's say another emerging set of technologies, we can create a local group within the section where it will be an informal group, but we can, as a collective group, we can get together as interested set of individual and create this group. So that's the latest tool that's available at IEEE vTools right now. So just to give you a very brief idea about myself, I'm Chamika. So I started my volunteering journey at IEEE student branch of University of Moratuwa, and then I worked as the section student representative of IEEE Sri Lanka section. And last year, I was part of IEEE MG Student Activities Committee as a member for membership recovery and retention. And this year up to now, I'm serving as the secretary of IEEE Region 10 Student Activities Committee. So uh, I'll give you a very brief idea about my journey as a volunteer. So I've been volunteering for over 4 years right now with IEEE, and I've served in many roles within the section and organized different projects. And I was fortunate enough to win multiple awards from IEEE Computer Society, which includes the Richard Denning Irving Scholarship Award, the UPE Award, and the Larson Scholarship. So that's all about myself, and I'll move on today. So before talking about all the tools that we can utilize within IEEE, I just wanted to highlight about what is available for us at IEEE. So this will be one slide. So we can volunteer being part of IEEE, we can be part of competitions, being a student member at IEEE, and then of course the reputation of being part of the world's largest technical professional organization. So as volunteers at IEEE, we can be either student officers or student volunteers. So today we'll be talking about the tools and resources available at IEEE for us. And apart from that, we have funds and awards, travel grants, we get the chance to network with each other, the experience, mentoring, and of course, the soft skills that we can develop. And in terms of competitions, there are like multiple competitions available at IEEE. I believe you all are familiar with IEEE Extreme competition. So apart from that as well, there are like competitions focusing on robotics, product development, and being part of these competitions, you can get awards and crash prizes, you can get travel grants, scholarships, and so on. And of course, the last thing is about the students who are interested in enhancing their professional career or academic life. They can have the reputation of being part of IEEE. Then again, like they'll be exposed to different scholarships available at IEEE, fellowships and mentoring and all. So this is the very basic introduction that I would give to all who are student members at IEEE. So let's move on to the topic today, which is about tools and resources that we can utilize at IEEE, specifically vTools. So when it comes to vTools, I believe most of you are familiar with the available tools at IEEE vTools. You can use this link as well. You can utilize this link to get an idea about what are the different tools that are available. So today I'll be going through these different tools and I'll be giving you some tips about like how we can utilize this tool for the benefit of the student branches and the student chapters. So I am aware that today we have the student representatives, student branch chairpersons, and the executive members present in this meeting. So I believe this would be a good opportunity for you all to know about what are the available tools and how you can utilize them for the benefit of the student branches. So as you all know, these are the set of tools that are available. So we have Enotices, we have vTools events, as mentioned in the very beginning. Ravindranath gave the answer as well. We have local groups, we have officer reporting, we have student branch reporting, membership validator, voting, OU analytics, and other set of tools within IEEE. So today I'll be going through these one by one to give you all an idea about how we can utilize it for the benefit of the activities that we do within the student branches. So first up, I'll go by the uh, I'll start with e-notices. So I believe you all, if you all are IEEE members, you all are receiving e-notices from different organizational units within IEEE. For example, you might be receiving e-notices from the region, you might be receiving e-notices from the council, you might be receiving from your own section as well as from your student branch as well. So today I'll be focusing on like how we can utilize these e-notices for the benefit of the activities that we do at the student branches. So first and foremost thing is, as I am aware, e-notices, the access to e-notices is available for the student branch chairpersons of a student branch, and he or she will be able to utilize it to share news about the events, meetings, conference materials, as well as newsletters if they are available within the student branches. And when we are using e-notices, there are a set of options that we can utilize. So I'll be going through the options as well. So I'll share my screen. Can someone let me know whether you can see my browser window?
Yes, Chamika.
Yeah, perfect. So when we are utilizing e-notices, as you can see, that's the common, that's the usual things that we deal with. For example, we have the subject. We can schedule it right now, like we can schedule as a uh, prioritize e-notice as well. So I'll let you know about that as well. So when we are scheduling e-notices, there are two options for us. First one is to schedule it and send, and the second option is to send it as express. When we are sending it as express, what's available is we can send it right now, and if we want to send it in a time in the future, what we can do is like we can schedule it, schedule and send it. So when we are choosing who will be the recipients of these e-notices, so there are like different options available. So we can specifically target who are the people that we want to send these e-notices. For example, if it is an event which is focused for students, we can specifically choose we are sending it to students. And if it is focusing on graduate students and students both, we can specifically send it to both parties. And then when we are sending an e-notice, we have this option where we can send it to active members as well as for arrears members as well. So I think it's better if you can send it to both active and arrears members, because then you will be able to contact a larger crowd. And this is also important when you are sending an e-notice. So when you're sending an e-notice, you have the option to make sure that you can edit these segments. Like, for example, you can edit from whom this is being sent. Instead of like IEEE e-notice, you can mention your student branch name. For example, IEEE student branch of ABC. So likewise, you can mention your student branch as well. You can include an IEEE email there. And of course, when including an IEEE email, you might be wondering how you would be able to have an IEEE email for your student branch. For that, I'll give you I'll let you know. You can use the email aliases from IEEE and you can request an email alias for your student branch. So in that manner, you will be able to get an IEEE.org email for your student branch. And then when it comes to replying, you can edit this as well. Like you can include the name of your student branch and the student branch email. Because when you are creating an e-notice, for example, if the student branch chairperson is creating one, what would happen is automatically the email ID of the student branch chairperson comes here. So then what you can do is you can replace it with the student branch email. So if someone inquires or someone has a question, then you can answer it through the student branch email. Because if you use the student branch chairperson's email, there might be a possibility that you might uh, miss some emails and you might not be able to respond to them. So that's about the from content. And in terms of the content, you can include the content here and you can upload some of the photographs or the notices as images. And then if you are sending it express, that means you are sending it right now, you cannot add any special request from Enotices admins because it will be sent automatically. But if you want to schedule it and send, of course, then you have time, and then you will be able to make special requests from the admins. So that's about the e-notices. I think it's clear for you guys. You can utilize this tool to share information about the events as well as notices from the student branch. Then what we have is the IEEE vTools events. I think this is important for you guys because this would give you the opportunity to know about the events that are happening within the council, within the section, and within your student branches, and how you can effectively get more information from the events that are happening. So these are some of the images that I have captured with regard to IEEE Sri Lanka section. So when I'll be showing you some illustrations, most of them might be related to IEEE Sri Lanka section because that's where I am having access to get information. So when we are using IEEE vTools events, there are two specific things that we have to concentrate on. The first one would be scheduling an event, and then we have to file a report for the specific event as well. When we are scheduling an event, the usual things would be when the event would happen and what is the topic, who will be the resource persons and all. And when we are filing a report, we have to mention the number of participants of IEEE, number of non-IEEE participants and all. So this would be the activity dashboard for the section that I got. So you will be receiving it for your student branch as well. And to the left side, you can see the dashboard of the events that are happening in the area. So these are the two different dashboards that you can see when it comes to IEEE vTools events. And when reporting an event, what's important is an event is needed to be reported by an officer within the respective organizational unit. In this case, your student branch. And when and what's the importance of recording an event is with regard to the requirements from IEEE Member Geographic Activities Manual, because we need to organize a certain number of events to be eligible for the rebates for a student branch. So this is where my second question comes. So does anyone know what is the number of minimum events that a student branch should organize in order to be eligible to uh, get the rebate from IEEE? So do you know the number? Yeah, Par answered. So the number is 4. I'll show you the NGA manual as well. Then you will be able to get an idea about that. So this is from IEEE MGA manual. So I got it directly from the link. So if you have not gone through the MGA manual, I'll be sharing the link with you all. So then you will be able to go through it when you are free. So as I mentioned previously, a student branch shall require to hold not less than 4 activities per year. So these activities should be reported to the to IEEE via IEEE vTools events, because that's the only way that IEEE will be able to get to know about the events that you organize. So it's important for you all to report events using vTools, and there are like two options as I mentioned previously. First, you have to schedule an event, then you have to file a report for an event. So I'll go through some of the web pages as well. So this is for the Enotice, which I explained to you previously. So this is the dashboard that you will be getting in terms of events. So if you log into events.vtools.ieee.org, so this is the first page that you will receive. So you have different subtopics here as well, like search, my events, event reports, and administrations and APIs. So if you are like fond of like computer science and computing, you can utilize these APIs and you can get the information from these APIs to the respective websites of the student branches. That would be something a webmaster should do. So you can get the benefit of that functionality as well. So this is the dashboard that you are getting. And this is the dashboard when it comes to the events, event reports and administration. So these are some of the events that were organized within IEEE Sri Lanka section. And then when you are reporting an event, first you have to schedule a new event. So if it is an upcoming event, what you can do is like you can schedule it. So you can easily go through the steps in this as well. So it won't be difficult for you guys to handle. And then what you have to do is after an event is scheduled, after the event is conducted, what you have to do is you have to write a report for that event. So it would be a past event because it has been already held, because it would be for an event that you have already scheduled, and you have to file a report. You have to complete both the tasks here. So for example, this event, the power of supercapacitors was conducted on 21st of April and it was reported on 22nd of April. So I'll let you know what is the benefit of reporting it in a few moments, because you will be able to utilize the data that you would receive from this for the benefit of the activities that you are organizing within the student branch. So this is the event activity dashboard that is available. Simply you have to click on event activities, then you will be able to know about what are the events that were organized by administrative, humanitarian, non-technical, professional, and technical, by categories, by whether it's a virtual or a physical event, which day was the most preferable day when it comes to organizing an event, and then again, like what are the different organizational units within your section or within the council that organized events. So these information will be available at the dashboard. And then if you want to know specifically about more about the events, you can simply click on these events and then it will generate this. So there you will be able to get a report about all the events that were conducted, and then you will be able to download as a CSV file. So by downloading as a CSV file, you will get to know get more information about the event. I'll share a sample CSV, so then you will be able to know what I am mentioning about. So for example, I think if you can see my screen right now. So for example, if you consider about this, you can get the number of uh, participants who were part of the events. So for example, if whether it is a technical event, non-technical event, you can get the number of participants and number of speakers, number of non-IEEE participants. Likewise, you can get of participants uh, by the event, and then you can like aggregate them using some of the functions and available at Excel, and you can get an overall holistic idea about uh, the performance of the student branch in terms of the types of event that you organize. For example, how many members are coming to humanitarian events, how many members are coming for technical events, whether there's an increase from last year to this year. Likewise, you will be able to uh, analyze some of the statistics using the information available. And as well, you can use an advanced search and get to know about more specifically about the events within a certain period of time by a specific type, and likewise, so you get the chance to filter out the events as per your requirement. So that's about events. I believe it's clear for you guys. And then we are in the most important part, which is about IEEE officer reporting. So it is important for all of us to report officers on time. As soon as the AGM is conducted, then the officer role should be transferred within IEEE to the newly elected officers. Because if we are not reported to IEEE vTools as an officer, you won't be having the authorization to access these different material available at IEEE vTools. For example, you might not be able to report an event if you are not a reported officer at IEEE vTools. So this is very important for you all to report on time because unless you won't be getting access. And the other thing is you have to be reported, and this is the only way that IEEE get to know about our volunteering roles that we do within IEEE. So this is where, for example, I show you some officer logs as well. So uh, this is how you will be reported to IEEE. So this is, for example, these are some of the roles available at IEEE student branch of University of Moratuwa. Likewise, you can select another OU and you can select your organizational unit and see whether you are reported to IEEE via officer reporting. So if there's a student branch chairperson who is not reported to vTools as an officer, you have to contact your previous student branch executive committee and politely ask them to report you for the new term. And if you want to request new positions for the student branch, uh, in terms of officer reporting, you can always request a new officer position via vTools reporting. So for this to be requested, you have to be an officer already. And then again, like you have officer reporting logs as well. So this would be important for student representatives then, because you will be able to get an idea about when the officers were reported for different student branches, when the annual general meetings of the student branches were conducted. Such information can be obtained by officer logs as logs. So once again, I'd like to mention, if you are not reported to vTools as an officer, do it immediately and ask the previous XCOM, because it's important. Important because first of all, it's the only way that IEEE get to know that you are an officer within a particular student branch. And then again, that's the way that you will be getting access to all these resources available at IEEE. And then IEEE student branch reporting. So this is also another important thing that you all should follow, because if you do not submit this form by the deadline, you won't be eligible for the rebate that is given by IEEE for the student branches. So you have to submit your annual plan with the student branch operations and funding, the activities that you plan to do in terms of technical, non-technical, administrative and other activities. What are your goals? And your report should be signed by your section student representative as well as by the student branch counselor. So I'll be going through that form as well, because it would assist you all to get familiar with that. So this is the sample form available at IEEE vTools. So you have to fill the initial details, and you have to mention about the funding and the operations that are at student branches. Then by in a monthly basis, you have to include the number of events that you will be organizing in terms of technical, non-technical, administrative and other, and what are the goals of your student branches. And you have to get the signatures from the student branch chairperson, student branch counselor, section chair and all. So this should be submitted by the 1st of April, as I remember, sorry, 1st of February, as I remember, in every calendar year. So I believe all of you have done it by now, because we have already passed the deadline, and the next deadline would be the next year. So this is important for you all to submit, because if you do not submit the annual plan, you won't be eligible for the rebate that is given from IEEE. So just since I mentioned about the rebate, I'll mention this as well. So in terms of student branch rebate, each student branch in good standing would get $2 per each student member and additional $1 per each student branch chapter member based on the membership count. And if the student branch membership is larger than 50, you will be getting a $100 additional bonus with your rebate. So for this, you have to submit the student branch activities report as well as student branch annual plan, and you have to organize more than 4 activities within a calendar year. So if you complete all these requirements, you will be eligible for the rebate, and the rebate would be coming through your section, and your section will be disbursing the relevant funds that are obtained by the student branch by successfully completing these activities. Next, we have IEEE membership validator. You might be wondering why it is important for us to have this membership validator, but for example, like if you are organizing a competition within your student branch, and if it is specifically for IEEE members, what you can do is you can utilize this membership validator. You can simply enter the membership numbers or the email addresses and see whether these members are eligible as IEEE members to be part of the competitions. So that's something that we can use when we are organizing competitions or events. So if you want to validate the membership of some person who is part of a competition as a participant, what you can do is you can utilize the IEEE membership validator and get to know about that. So that's one benefit that you can utilize from the membership validator, and there can be other different benefits that you can get in terms of the events or the activities and your objectives are. And then next we have is IEEE vTools voting. This is also important because if you want to have an election within your student branch for your student branch executive committee, for the selection of the student branch executive committee, you can simply use the IEEE vTools voting, and you can call for an election, and you can share the ballots among the student members and get to know yeah, you can get to know about that. So this is also a tool that you can utilize. And another tool that you can utilize is IEEE Webinar Box. So this would be the simplest way that you can generate a website for your student branch or your student branch chapter. So I'll go through it as well. So using IEEE Webinar Box, what you can do is you can you can generate a simple website for your student branch. So it would be like this. So it would be very simple because this is generated by IEEE using the information that we have provided to IEEE. So it might have a calendar, it might mention the members of IEEE, that the particular organizational unit and the other units that are available, and specific links. So if you want to have the simplest form of website for your student branch, this is the tool that you can utilize. So you can simply administer a site and create a Webinar Box website. So these are some of the Webinar Box websites that are available within IEEE. So you can simply create. For that to be eligible, again, I have to mention you have to be a student branch officer reported to vTools. And then we have OU Analytics. So this is something that I wanted to talk about a bit in detail. So when it comes to OU Analytics, there are different tools available within OU Analytics which would give access to membership data. So in terms of members and affiliates, in terms of students, in terms of volunteering positions, in terms of membership of different societies, and in terms of a map, we have lots of information available of the volunteers of IEEE, and this can be accessed by IEEE student branch officers specifically. So in vTools, in OU Analytics, I have to mention that, for example, previously it was only open for the officers, but now it is open for all the volunteers. They have given a specific set of options that are available for all. So for this, you don't have to be reported. You don't have to be specifically an officer. For example, OU Analytics can be accessed by a student branch chairperson when it comes to specific details. But if you are a reported officer, who is not the chairperson, you will be able to access the map modules, the double dashboard, and the membership and subscription monthly statistics. So I'll be going through, first I'll be going through these, and then I'll be going through the other tools available at IEEE Analytics. So this is the monthly statistics. So when it comes to monthly statistics, you can get the numbers about IEEE as a whole, how the membership has grown within IEEE over the years in terms of societies, in terms of membership development goals, year over analysis. There are lots of statistics available at IEEE that you can access and you can use for the benefit of the activities that you organize. And when it comes to double dashboard, you can get to know about the membership statistics within your section or the region as well. For example, you can select your section, you can select your region, and then you can get a matrix where they'll be giving information about the members in different societies within IEEE and how it varies. And then finally, you will be having access to regional summary as well, where you will be getting information about the number of members within the region. So we'll wait a couple of seconds till this loads. So this will give you information about how many members are currently within the region. So if we, for an example, if we consider about IEEE region 10, which we belong, we have 116,000 members within IEEE. And when it comes to student branches, we have more than 1,700 student branches. And likewise, we have almost 500 affinity groups, and we have 1,600 student branch chapters. Likewise, we can get this information. So if you want to do a presentation, if you want to do a pitch about IEEE at a particular event, you can utilize this information and give the up-to-date statistics when you are doing the presentation. So these are available for all the reported volunteers, and you don't have to be a student branch chairman to access this. And when it comes to specific details, such as getting details about students, volunteer positions, and member affiliates, you only student branch chairpersons or student chapter chairpersons will be getting the access. So here you can get to know about the members available, member details of the student branch in terms of the chapters that they are part of, what are the fields of studies that they are interested in, what is the current count when it comes to a section, and what is the student count by gender. These are the basic statistics that you will be getting. And apart from that, if you click this detail button here, you will be getting detailed statistics. I'm not clicking it right now because it might contain some personal information of the members. So I'll be keeping it right now like this. So you can get more information about the students within your student branch as well as your section as well. So it depends on your volunteering role. So if you are a student activities chair, you will be getting information about the section. And if you are a student branch chairperson, you will be getting information about your student branch. So that's about IEEE Analytics. So I believe you got a very brief idea about the tools that are available at vTools for you, which can be utilized. And the special thing is, I've given you all a very brief idea about what are the tools that you can access. And in vTools, they already have a set of tutorials that you can utilize to get to know about these tools. I'll show you the tutorial as well. So this is the tutorial. So using this tutorial, if something is not clear for you guys, you can utilize this tutorial and get to know about more. For example, if I go to student branch reporting, they'll give you a step-by-step guidance about how you can fill this student branch reporting application. So similar to that, when it comes to officer reporting, when it comes to voting, when it comes to webinar box, they all have guidelines and tutorials for you to follow. So without an issue, you will be able to follow these tutorials and complete the task as required. Next, I'll be going through some of the other tools which are not directly part of the vTools, but you can utilize. So this is for this is as more information for you to utilize. So I believe you all have heard about IEEE Center for Leadership Excellence. So IEEE in IEEE Center for Leadership Excellence, you will get to know about the action plans that are available for each specific role. These are available for student branch chairpersons, student branch secretaries, student branch treasurers, and student branch vice chairpersons, and all the reported role for all the reported roles, they have a set of action plans and they have a set of volunteer role descriptions. Towards the left side, you are seeing the volunteer role description for the student activities chair. So likewise, you can access these material available at IEEE Center for Excellence and get to know about your role and what are the things that you should be focusing on. Specifically, they have a calendar, like in the first 30 days, what are the key administrative items that you should follow. For example, in the first 30 days, you have to set up an IEEE account, you have to read your job role description, and likewise, there are a set of activities that you can complete and you can keep a progress about the activities that you do as well. And in terms of the officer positions, as I mentioned previously, there are information available for chairperson, vice chairperson, treasurer, secretary, counselor, and chapter chair. So if you are a student representative or a student activities chair, you have information available there as well. So this is something important for you all to get an idea about what are the key items that you should follow, and you can keep this as a reference for you to successfully complete the responsibilities of your role. And then we have two tools available at IEEE, IEEE Collaboratech and IEEE Volunteering Platform. Using IEEE Collaboratech, you can be part of different communities, different workspaces, and you can get to know about more opportunities available within IEEE. It will give you the chance to network with the broader IEEE community, because it has I think it has more than 30,000 members within IEEE who are part of Collaboratech. You can connect with members from different parts of the world who are interested in different technological areas. You can create a workspace with them. You can be part of different communities and all. And then from IEEE Young Professionals, they have introduced IEEE Volunteering Platform. So using volunteering platform, you can get to know about opportunities available at different parts of world, and you can apply for these opportunities as well. So I'll show you a brief example about IEEE volunteering platform. So this is the IEEE volunteering platform. If you are a IEEE members who has a valid membership, you can you can sign into the volunteering platform. And if you are a student branch officer, it shows that you are an active officer here. So you can your information will be shared here. And then again, if you want to create an opportunity, if you are organizing an event within your student branch, if you are an officer, you can simply swap the role. Like when you're signing in, there are two options: whether you want to volunteer, whether you want to find a volunteer. If you mention that you want to find a volunteer, you can create an opportunity for the volunteers within the student branch within the IEEE volunteering platform. So here, if you create an opportunity, you can mention about what's the title of the opportunity, what are the description about the opportunity, what is the category that it would be focusing on, what are the type of experience level that you're expecting, and likewise you can include the details here, and you can create an opportunity. And these created opportunities will be displayed in the platform, and the interested volunteers within your student branch or within your section will be able to apply for it. For example, they have IEEE volunteering platform ambassadors applications are accepting by it. And then there are other applications as well, like IEEE Computer Society, Region 3, Region 4 coordinators, IEEE puzzlers, volunteers needed. So likewise, there are lots of opportunities available within IEEE in a global basis. So being part of this platform, you will be able to utilize that. And within your student branch as well, you will be able to create opportunities for the volunteers. What's important about this is when you create opportunities for the volunteers within the platform, it will display within your profile. So for example, in my profile, it mentions that I'm a member within IEEE for 4 years. I'm part of these societies. These are my skill sets. In my volunteering CV, it shows that these are some of the opportunities that I have created. But if you create opportunities, that will be displayed in the platform, and if a volunteer is accepting these opportunities to be part of your accepting that volunteering role, that will be displayed as well, and you can download the volunteering CV. So this would be beneficial for the ones who will be creating opportunities as well as the ones who will be receiving, who will be selected for the opportunities as well. So that's something that I wanted to mention you. So I have already shared the links. You can just sign in there, and you can, if you are a student officer and you are organizing an event, you can create an opportunity there. And then we have IEEE brand experience. So within IEEE brand experience, they have resources for IEEE brand guidelines, templates, services, portfolios, and the different toolkits are available there. So you can utilize these toolkits when you're organizing events. For example, they have presentation templates as well. I took this presentation template from IEEE brand experience itself. And then this is something we all forget about. So this is important. When we are having different websites and social media platforms for IEEE student branch, we have to register them within IEEE brand experience website. So I request you all, if you have not registered your social media platforms and channels within IEEE brand experience, you can register it after the event. So I'll be sharing this link with you all as well. So that's all that I wanted to cover today. So I believe I have stick by the time that was given to me. So I believe it was important for you and you got something from the presentation that I did. And you can always refer the tutorials available at vTools and get to know more about how you can correctly use these tools available. And if you have any questions, you can always reach me via email, chamika.sudusinghe@iee.org. So that's all I wanted to cover with you all today. I believe you got an idea about the tools available. And finally, I'll be sharing this link to the IEEE social media guidelines. So here you can register your social media associated with IEEE student branch or student branch chapter. So that's what I wanted to cover. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Chamika. This session has indeed helped us better understand IEEE MGA vTools. You have touched upon everything that is possible to actually get the best out of the volunteering tools. Now, the session is open for questions. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. So any questions regarding to vTools, please feel free to put forward your questions.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, good evening. This is Rishu Kumar from UP section, Bansal Institute, Lucknow. I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
My question is, sir, events which are reported under the society, if events are conducted under society, which it will be personally reported in society and as well as in student branch also.
Yeah, for that question, actually, if you report it under the society, once again, like the society is under the student branch. So student branch would be the main organizational unit, and within the student branch, you will have the society. So if you closely look at when creating the event, it shows you to include a co-sponsor for the event. So in that scenario, you can utilize the option of co-sponsoring, and you can include the society or the student branch when you are reporting it. So that's something that you can do.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So there's another question in the chat. How many branch counselors can a student branch has? Can we have different counselors for different societies form? So in order to answer this question, you might have confused in between the student branch counselor and the student branch chapter advisors. For the student branch, we have a counselor, and for each chapter within a student branch, we have a chapter advisor. So each chapter, we are reporting an advisor, and for the student branch, there's a counselor.
Any other questions?
So good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Dr. Anusha from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. The thing is, my question is, see, we are just giving the annual plan at the beginning or sometime before, and we are starting executing each and every event according to the plan. Sometimes, because of the unexpected time or unexpected other activities, we were not able to commit ourselves to that particular event in the given time or the month. In that cases, is it possible to skip off certain event reporting, or suppose if we do some alterations on the events, is it possible to report it bit later also? Is there any fixation, or shall we do it in a liberal way?
So in answering the question, I would encourage you all to like stick by the annual plan that you submit. But of course, when we are organizing events, there can be certain mishaps. For example, like if we consider about 2020, like we submit the annual plan by the 1st of February, but due to COVID-19 and all, we might not be able to organize the events on time. So when we are organizing events and reporting events, it's better if we can stick by the annual plan, but there can be certain differences when it comes to some activities that we organize, but it would be fine. And when you are reporting it, you can mention it as well in the event report itself. So what I would suggest is when you are organizing event, please make sure even if you miss some activities, you are fulfilling the number of activities that you should be organized within the calendar year. That is 4. So at least you have to organize 4 activities within your student branch within the calendar year, and those activities should be reported to IEEE itself, because unless if you report, you might not get the rebate for your student branch. So another question is there, our SB is eligible for 214 USD funding from Kerala section, and how would we apply for transferring fund? So with regard to that, actually the section student representative and the section student activities chair will be in contact with you, and they'll be the one who will be responsible when it comes to disbursing the funds. When it comes to rebate, for this year, rebates have not been calculated yet. Rebates will be calculated by the 15th of May for this year based on last year's December 31st membership. And for the last year, you might have received the rebates. So all the details about the rebates and all are available within IEEE. Browse those documents and see whether you have been eligible for rebates in the past years.
Chamika, there's one more question in the chat box. Is there any fixed term for student branch counselor?
Is there any fixed? Sorry, can you fix term? So
Fixed term for student branch counselor.
In terms of the role of the student branch counselor, one thing that you can do is you can refer the IEEE Center for Excellence role guidelines. So that's something that you can do. Apart from that, I'll refer the MGA manual right now. So I think that's the best way for me to give you the answer. So in terms of student branch counselor, so in IEEE MGA manual, like the MGA operations manual, they have mentioned it. So I'll share my screen if that's helpful for you guys. So this is directly being extracted from the IEEE MGA manual. So this is the term that is used for IEEE student branch counselor within the MGA manual. So at each student branch, there shall be a counselor who shall be an IEEE member teaching in the designated field. So this is all about the student branch counselor that's mentioned in the MGA manual, which we use as the reference when it comes to IEEE Constitution. You can always refer the MGA manual if you have a confusion, if you have a conflict. So the best document that you will be able to utilize is the MGA manual.
Chamika, there's one more question. Can we raise for fund of a past event?
That's a bit of a tricky question. So I believe when you're applying for funds from IEEE, what you have to do is like you have to apply funds for the future events, and from different societies, they have different rules when it comes to funding your events. So some might fund you 50% for the event, and at the completion, they might fund you the rest of the 50%. So when it comes to raising funds for a past event, I don't think it's possible. And if we think about it logically, so we might have to ask for funds at first, and then we organize the event, and at the end of an event we can reimburse it. So that's the best possible scenario that I can come up with, but I'm not sure whether it would be possible to raise fund for a past event.
Chamika, there's one more question. Are rebates also given to a particular section for organizing activities under the same section?
The same section that you're part of.
Yeah, the question is, are the rebates also given to a particular section for organizing activities under the same section?
Yeah, the rebates are given not based on the activities that you do, but based on the membership of the student branch. For example, if there are 50 members, for one particular member, there will be $2 rebate. So likewise, it is based on the membership count, but to be eligible for an rebate, you need to organize at least four events within the student branch. So the events come in terms of the eligibility. When it comes to the funds, it is based on the membership of the student branch.
There's one more question. Can we report, sorry, I missed a question. For the election of an affinity group or chapter, are all IEEE members eligible to vote, or only the members having the membership of that particular affinity group or chapter?
I believe only the members who are having membership of that particular chapter. If you are going for vTools voting.
There's one more question. Can we report student branch chapter events under student branch event reporting?
I think it would be better if you report under the student branch chapter, because that's organized by the chapter. And as I mentioned previously, what you can do is, as a co-sponsor of an event, if the student branch supported it, you can include the student branch as a co-sponsor of the event when you are reporting it.
Will be open for questions for next 2 minutes. So any other questions, please put forward your question or unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello.
Yes.
My question is, when we
Please
refer
introduce yourself. Please
myself,
introduce
Nishu
yourself.
Kumar, sir,
Yes.
from UP section is from Bansal Institute, Lucknow. Sir, my question is, when we refer a person for a membership by using member get a member, Okay, sir. The reward is for a student member, it is of $2. I think so. So, sir, that money which is allotted, sir, how do we access that money?
Actually, when it comes to get a member discount, it will be discounted from your IEEE membership when you apply for the next year. So you technically you don't receive the cash physically, but it will be discounted from your IEEE membership.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So there's another question: is it necessary to report all the positions in vTools? So it's necessary to report all the executive committee positions in vTools, such as chairperson, secretary, vice chairperson, treasurer, webmaster. Those roles are available, and if according to a student branch constitution, if there are more executive positions like the assistant secretary or the assistant treasurer, you can include them in vTools as well. For that, actually, you need to request for an officer position, because those are not directly available when you access vTools. So it will be based on your student branch constitution. And once again, like, it's important for you guys to report all these positions, because unless IEEE would never get to know that you have all these position within your student branch, because this is the official approach that we can take to report activities that we do, and it will be recorded within the logs of IEEE. So it's important for you all to report all the executive committee positions of the student branches to vTools, and that's the only way that you will be getting access to available tools at vTools. For example, if you are reported to vTools, you can utilize IEEE OU Analytics. If you are not reported, you might not have access. Then there's a question: how many student posts can we create under student branch? I'm not exactly sure about the number, but it wouldn't be a lot. They allow based on the logicality of the position. For example, I think they without a question they would allow adding a webmaster, adding an assistant secretary, so that would be allowed. But if you add like 10 or 20 positions, if you try to add 10 or 20 positions, I don't think that would be possible. But try to restrict to the executive committee and the specific roles that are recurring within the student branch every year. So based on your constitution, you can apply for, and IEEE would decide whether they would accept it or not. So it's upon how you are making a compelling request to IEEE about the respective position. Is it possible to download professional membership count from vTools? Actually, if you are a student activities chair, you will be able to get that information from IEEE OU Analytics. If you are a student branch chairperson, you will only have access to the IEEE student branch membership, but I'm not sure whether it has access. We are SB counselor. So I believe the SB counselor would have the access to get information about all the members within the student branch. So I'll share the link. So this is the link for OU Analytics. So without an issue, you will be able to access OU Analytics if you are a student branch counselor. Using the details available there, you will be able to get more information from there. Because from my end, actually, for myself, it's only visible the members that are within my section. So based on your geographical region, you will get access to a particular set of members.
I hope that answers all the questions. So we have last one question, if anybody wants to ask. Yeah, the last question is here.
Any information about resource persons in various technologies arranged for workshops and seminars? So when it comes to information, there's a resource called IEEE Virtual Speakers Bureau. So you can utilize this information from there. I'll share students.ieee.org using IEEE using students.ieee.org, you will be able to access Virtual Speakers Bureau. So from there, you will be able to get information from about different experts in different areas. So that's one thing that you can use for. So yeah, I'll share the link. And apart from that, there are different distinguished lecturer programs, DLP programs on different chapters within IEEE. So you can use those chapters websites and you can get to know more information from different chapters. For example, IEEE CS has a different DLP program and they have a set of allocated speakers for different technological areas specifically. So from there, you can request them to deliver a session. So that's one approach that you can take. And yeah. So I'll share the link of the presentation as well. So if it would be helpful for you guys, so you can refer it afterwards in the future as well. So I hope you got something from this event with regard to the tools that are available at IEEE. Thank you.
Thank you, Chamika. So as we are running out of time, any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. That is the IEEE India Council, or Chamika has already shared his presentation. He also has his email address there. So to capture this moment, I request all the participants to turn on your camera and show us some happy faces. So let's have a photo. So I request all of you to turn on your cameras, and this will go on our India Council page. So I request the participants to turn on your cameras. Only the first 25 will get an option to actually be in the picture. So anybody who is wanting to be in the picture, so please turn on your cameras at the earliest. So can we have a sign like this? The wish. I guess we can have a photo we'll have a photo in 3, 2, 1. So thank you all. I hope my screen is visible.
It was, but not right now.
Oh, it's not right now. Is it visible now?
Yes. Now it is visible.
Okay. So, Chamika, I thank you on behalf of IEEE India Council for accepting our invitation and being with us this evening. I would also like to thank the executive committees of IEEE India Council and the whole student coordination team for tirelessly working on making this event a grand success. The feedback form will be shared by my team now in the chat box. Okay, it isn't shared. Just give me a minute. I'll share the feedback form. This feedback form marks as your attendance for this event. So please fill the feedback form that is shared right now. So this will mark your attendance in this event. Thank you all for being with us this evening. I hope this session was informative, and any questions that you have after this session on exploring vTools, please feel free to reach out to us. We would be happy to help you. So don't forget to fill the feedback form as it serves as a record for your attendance in this event. So we are officially done with this event. So this is Aniket Chanai signing off, and see you next time. Until then, stay safe and healthy. Thank you.